So my opponents, they claim that to get the guns back, they will have a buyback program, or a buyback for all handheld guns. And this policy would not work because people will violate this law. As my partner stated, by Steve Amier of the Harvard publication on gun law resurfaces, talks about firearm continues in the Boston Magazine. He states, Russia is a more compatible country to the U.S., banning handguns in the 1920s, yet Russia murder rates have always exceeded the United States. As of the year 2000, Russian murder rates were 4 times higher than the United States. This shows a correlation between in how it would be if the United States has this buyback program, and it will a lot of black market can end up going up, causing the criminal rates to go up. One thing that my opponent did not state was how long would this buyback program take place. And this doesn't say how or when the 5-year imprisonment would take action. And for illegal gun owners who would not return the guns for the buyback program, this would cause American public to be going unarmed while the criminals remain unarmed. Josh Sandberg wrote in The American Gun Economy by the Numbers in Time and Money Economics in Time magazine. He wrote, 310 million is estimated number of firearms in the United States, according to the federal government, which include 14 million handguns, 110 million rifles, and 86 million shotguns. There are a lot of handguns out there in the United States, as he stated, and this is another reason why the buyback program will not work, because there are just so many. In correlation to this, the United States also went through a similar situation. In January 19th of 1920, there was the prohibition took place in the United States, which was the ban of alcohol. And on the PBS website, I found that the effects of the prohibition were largely negative. There was a rise of unemployment. The unintention of the economic consequences of the prohibition did not stop there. One of the most profound effects of the prohibition was that the government tax was on government tax revenue. The growth of illegal liquor trade under the prohibition made criminals of millions of Americans. This shows that with the ban of handheld guns, if this were to happen, that crime rates will go up as well. Even in some parts of America, some of the areas with fewer guns have the highest violent crime rates. And this is said by Clint Cook in Keeps and Bear Arms. Some of the disadvantages that can take place with this policy are the downfall of the gun industry, which would cause a loss of billions of dollars, economic consequences to gun owners, loss of self-defense, and violation of the Second Amendment. Josh Sandberg also wrote that there are 30% increase in unemployment in the industry increase in the employment in the industry between 2008 through 2011, according to the National Shooting Sports Foundation. So these guns have actually made more jobs for people, and if this policy goes through, unemployment will rise. He also wrote that 206,750 is to be estimated numbers of jobs related to the firearm industry in 2012. And this estimates that 9.8 billion in annual wages are earned. In 2012, the industry was expected to rack up a steady $11.7 billion in sales and profit for handguns. And $6 billion is estimated to come from handheld guns. And this was an analysis by the business research firm of Hoover's. And Angela Stowe did a survey and poll, and he had an interview with 20 men. And in the interview, 20 of these men claimed that their motivation by a desire is to protect their wives and children, to compensate for lost strength as they age, and to defend themselves against people and places they perceive as dangerous, especially those involving racial and ethnic minority men. This also supports my partner's claim about how with a firearm you're less likely to be attacked by an attacker. So it's used as a defense mechanism. Thank you.
Gesundheit.